watching UMAMI.
What's up, everyone? How's it going? So, 12:30 p.m., like in an hour from now, hour and a half, I'm gonna go through the contest entries. We had an art contest on the Discord. But until then, I'm just gonna be working on some stuff and hanging out with you guys, and seeing how you're doing. So, I have to draw another hand. Like, it's either I'm drawing rocks or hands. This episode has a lot of hands. So I have to, and you know, I just videoed my hand. Like, I took a video earlier today, so I can rotoscope it, because trying to draw hands, it's really hard. So this episode is shaping up to be like around 12, 11, possibly 13 minutes long. There's like some shots in it that are just like absolutely crazy, so it's been, you know, past 5 months I've been working on this thing, but it's gonna be really cool when it comes out. Yeah, as you can see in my, I took this video without my shirt on so I could show off my wicked pecs, which I don't really have. Just, it's like 500 degrees in my room right now, and, we're kind of like going through like a heat wave in Montreal, so it's not so bad because we got an air conditioning unit, which we bought like a couple weeks ago, but if we didn't have those, it would have been pretty bad. I'd probably look like a soup son right now, like on the floor, just in a melted, dilapidated state. It's really hard to do work when you're like exhausted from the heat. So, I haven't even really been going outside recently. Went to go play the drums the other day. So I'm practicing to play the drums. Yeah. Anyway. Space Pirate. I'm using Photoshop right now, so you can, if you wait around, you'll see how I add my Photoshop animations into After Effects, because I do all the drawings in Photoshop and stuff, and basic animations. I've been relying less on After Effects than I used to, though. I think that's just from getting some more, just for having some experience over doing animation for so long. Because, well, there was one shot, I'm not going to show you it because I don't want to like ruin it for the episode, but there's one shot I did that had all this like turning motion to it, and I didn't use Photoshop for the most of it. I just kind of did it in After Effects. I did most of it in Photoshop, which it makes it look more hand-drawn, like, because everything's a little bit imperfect still. Like, the motion, like what I usually do is keyframe some like things like moving across, like an image moving across, but sometimes if I can do it in Photoshop, I'll just do it in Photoshop, because it's like, it's more imperfect looking, and it kind of adds to the style, I guess. It makes it look less like computer generated. So I have like, I don't know, like 11 frames I have to do this for, so I'm going to be sitting here a while drawing the hand. Tanvish, thank you. Do you use any recreational drugs as inspiration for your work? Well, I guess I can talk about marijuana now because it's been legalized. When I first started streaming, I kind of just avoided that topic because, like, still wasn't illegal in Canada. But I don't use, like, I don't smoke, like, I smoke marijuana for, to relax, like, my muscles and stuff because, sometimes, like, I get, like, all tense and I have a hard time, like, stretching and stuff, and, it really helps me and, just relax sometimes. I don't use it for inspiration. So sometimes, like, I'll make music, you know, because I find that the marijuana kind of like makes your brain, like, I don't know, like it has like a heightened sense of, it just makes everything sound better. It's really weird. Like, it makes everything sound better, and but the thing is about it is that it makes good music sound fantastic, and it makes bad music sound really annoying. And so you have to kind of like, I find that if you like want to listen to music and stuff, you should like have a playlist ready to go, because otherwise you're just gonna be kind of, and it's really hard to like do stuff after you kind of like confused the whole time. So I don't use it. So I don't use it for inspiration because I don't find that I'm very like super productive. Really, usually it's just to relax. Like if I already did my work for the day, like if I smoked marijuana right now, well, sometimes it depends. Like if I'm doing a shot like this where I'm just drawing like a rotoscope, sometimes it kind of like helps me just get in the mode to like do it, because it's gonna have to sit here for like 5 hours basically and draw this. But for inspiration, I don't use it, and I don't think anyone really should, because I feel like you can get that inspiration without having to do drugs. I mean, you shouldn't. It's kind of like a meditation sort of thing. I don't meditate, but like, I don't know where this stuff comes from. You know, there's some of these artists that I've been featuring in my web series, Salvador Dali, and someone asked him the same question, and he says he doesn't need drugs because he is drugs or whatever. Something like that. I don't really know what that means, but you don't need to take drugs to be creative. You just need to accept that what you're creating doesn't have to be perfect, and it can be weird, and you should just be able to feel free experimenting, either writing a story or drawing or whatever it is you're doing, without having to kind of say, oh, it's the drugs that made me draw this way, or I was inspired from the drugs or whatever. You can write a weird, messed up story without having to use it as like a fallback, you know. And I don't know if everyone's capable of writing creatively without, you know, but I don't really think you should. It's not a good. I don't personally think it's a healthy habit to like have to rely on drugs in order to get creative. I think if you do something enough and you really are passionate about it, say it's like drawing, for instance, then you should be able to get there without it. So that's my opinion on that. If you went back in time, would you make Interface all over again? So, probably, I mean, if I went back in time, like 2007, and I knew what interface was back then, I would have been like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that because that's way too much work. Like, 24 episodes, are you kidding me? Like, I think the only way I was able to do this series was because I didn't really know what I was getting myself into while doing it, and then about halfway through, it was like too late to turn back. So I don't like if you're trying to write something and you want it to be this big epic story, I don't think you should go into it thinking that you're gonna write this big epic story. I think you should go into it thinking I'm gonna write something short and fun or whatever, something I want to write about, and once you're done with it, see how you can elaborate on what you've finished. So you make part 2 or something, you know? And then part 3, and then, I don't know. What helped me was that there was an active audience watching the episodes as they came out. So, if you're unable to do that because you want to write a whole book at once, I don't really have the experience to tell you what to do there. But if you think about, if you like saying, say you're a writer and you want to write a big, like a novel, write a chapter as a short story. Because essentially chapters should be sort of self-contained narratives within a greater story. That's generally what chapters are for. They kind of talk about a theme of something. So you should be able to write a short story in a chapter, and then say, for instance, you want to continue writing your book, then you just make part 2, but break it up into chunks. Don't think about the big picture until it's done, you know, and that's kind of how I managed to get through Interface. You know, if I started this series thinking I was going to make 24 episodes and they're going to be this long and they're going to have all these action shots and stuff, it would have been way too overwhelming to even consider. You should also just start creating. There's a feedback loop in the creative process where creating actually gets you into the space. Presumptuous commenter, yeah, that's exactly it. That's another good point. Like, if you make a routine of doing something creative every day, or at least every other day, at a certain time, you know, you can get a lot of stuff done. I find that I'm actually the most productive right after I wake up and I have coffee. And I don't even eat breakfast. Like, I can work for like 2 or 3 hours without eating breakfast, and I get a lot of work done sometimes because I just drink coffee. Cause I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes if I eat breakfast, I like get sleepy again and I want to go to bed. I don't know what it is with like working on an empty stomach, kind of, for creative stuff for me. I don't know. It's just not like hunger though. If I'm like hungry, then that's detriment. Xerox, how would you rate the quality of my voiceover of the interface into Russian? I'm thinking you're doing a good job, man. I don't really know if I can, like, give you a rating because I don't speak Russian, obviously, so I don't really know, like, how, like, your lines are translating and stuff, but I think, you're doing a pretty good job, man. Like, it sounds like, for people who are watching the series in Russian and they want to see it in Russian, it's probably the best option for them. I've heard that LSD is mostly harmless and serves as an outlet for creativity, no consequences or anything. I don't really know enough about LSD to really comment on it, so I'm not gonna say. I don't know if it's harmless though. I think if you take too much of it, you screw yourself up. But, Jesus Christ with a verified checkmark, so I guess you must be the real Jesus Christ. Just dropped in to let you know I love you and I love what you do. Keep your talent shining and bright and never hide it under a bushel. Well, thank you, Jesus Christ. I appreciate the comment there. uh, Um, yeah. Anyway, so I watched Braveheart for the first time ever the other day. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to watch that movie. But man, that was an awesome movie. Those gore scenes are pretty intense. Um, it was kind of like gratuitously, um, like they made the evil characters comically evil, kind of. It was kind of like, how can you not root for the Scottish when they're like the evil people were so comically like unlikable. I would say that's the only thing about the movie I wasn't like particularly crazy about. I mean, it was a great movie, but you know, I don't think it's so black and white like that. You know, one of my favorite movies that takes like historical movies is The Last of the Mohicans. That's my absolute favorite movie. Because it doesn't paint the evil people or the, you know, not the evil people, the opposite of the main character as necessarily comically evil. It's the French. And and there's the Mohicans. And they all kind of have their own narratives that make sense. And while there's like, you know, atrocities being committed on the side that you're not rooting for, obviously, at least there's some sort of more like a gray area in between of what exactly is happening. So that's kind of what I was going for with Interface. I don't like having like, I mean, I could have made the greetings guy just completely evil, like just murdering people left, right, and center. I don't think that would have been particularly interesting. Because you got to understand, even like, well, not everyone, but you know, when you got these dictators and stuff, in their mind at least, they're doing the right thing. And there were some moments of that in Braveheart, I guess, if you were to look back. I think the king, despite of like the things that he did in it, his motivations were they sort of made sense, I guess. But it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't so. It was a little too black and white for me. Otherwise, the action was amazing, and just the character, like the set design was like fantastic. I really like historical movies like that, especially like historical siege movies, like Troy, Gladiator, and well, not Gladiator, but well, Gladiator is a good movie, but it's not really a siege movie. Kingdom of Hearts, I think, is one. Even like Lord of the Rings is like a siege movie. It's like a siege fantasy. So that's kind of cool. Okay. Has this always been your drawing style, or did you settle on it eventually? Trying to find my own style still. Bassem B. Let me see here. Just give me a second. I kind of never really thought about it. It just sort of happened over time. And I think that's the best way to find your style. I don't think you should like force yourself to draw a particular way. I've always kind of just, you know, I've tried, you know, I think it's important that you try out different techniques. Like, one interesting technique is to draw on black paper and use like white chalk or like white, what do you call it? Like chalk, but it's pastels, like oil pastels, whatever, or even like a white crayon really, and just draw where the highlights are rather than the shadows are, because you're using white rather than black. It's kind of like it changes your whole perspective on drawing, and you're almost painting rather than drawing, because you're drawing like you're not outlining things, you're showing where the light falls on the object that you're trying to represent. And what happens is your drawing will look a lot more dimensional than you're used to seeing usually, because when you just draw with a black pen or pencil, you kind of get into the pitfall of just outlining everything, and doesn't, like, sometimes it's easy to lose the 3D quality of whatever it is that you're drawing. And obviously I'm drawing with a black outline right now, but I'm doing that intentionally after having, you know, tried a lot of different styles and found what works for me. And cartoons and animation, it's pretty, I mean, there's some animators out there that have like a unique style and they don't do outlines and stuff, but it's hard to not have outlines with animation because you have to like use them to fill in the colors and stuff. Anyways, I might be putting actually like too much detail on this hand because it's going to be shrunk down a bit and it's supposed to be a different size, so I might just reduce some of the detail here. But the style was also kind of created out of the limitations that I set for myself. And so I think you should also be putting limitations on yourself. The limitations that I set for myself when starting these animations was to use a limited range of colors, so only these colors. I don't blend the colors together. I don't use like opacity, so I don't like use like 50% opacity of one of the colors. And everything has to use the pencil tool, which is like sharp pixels. And also, I mean, the resolution, the final resolution of everything is 640 by 480. And those limitations kind of forced me to think about how to draw things in creative ways. Like what I can say, for instance, if I were to draw a ball, like this is a really crappy ball, but there's many different ways I can put lighting on the ball. Like I could do this and just have like a reflection up here, you know, specular highlight, right? Or I could draw it like, you know, my ball, I could put like hatching on it, basically, to give like even darker kind of, I'm really doing a really crappy job. But you know what I'm saying? There's like different ways you can, despite all those limitations, there's different ways you can draw the ball, you know? And I just thought that having these basic limitations will allow me to kind of force myself to think about which way I like to draw things the most. And if you look at my earlier animations, there's a little bit more like kind of variety in terms of how I draw things, because I was still kind of figuring out how I wanted things to look. There's not a good way or a bad way, it's just up to you, really. How you want things to look. I watched Interface on LCD SD once, and it gave me the most esoteric reality check about our current society. That's interesting, man. It's I'm sure it probably makes you think about some stuff for sure. I mean, like, that's kind of what that drug does. It, especially something like Interface. I don't know. Nice shirt. Thank you for my shirt. This is I got this at Simon's in Montreal. It's very light. Have you ever drawn Garfield in your style? No, I haven't. I don't know if I will, because I just feel like, what more can I say, other than imitating other YouTubers, really? The first one was like Pilot Red Sun, right? He made those Garfield animations, which were hysterical. And then there's like, I don't know, there's like 300 like different Garfield variations on the internet now, and I feel like it would be kind of lame if I started drawing Garfield at this point. Like, maybe if I did it 6 years ago. But I feel like that meme is kind of... I don't know. Maybe it's not. I kind of just like drawing original characters now at this point. Even though I did draw Caillou recently. Like, I feel like the only thing I could... Like, if I were to draw Garfield, it'd have to be different from what other YouTubers have done. So like Pilot Red Sun did his, which was like absurdist. And then there's like Gorefield, which is like he's very scary and his teeth and stuff. And then there's like people who like edit Garfield comic strips and they just make them like kind of like comedy cemetery. I don't really know how to explain that, but like the comedy is so bad that it makes you hurt a little bit on purpose. Like they do it purposely. And then there's like anime Garfield. I don't know. There's another guy who animates on YouTube. I forget what his name is. I think I subscribed to him. I just can't remember the name of the channel, but he has like this like. It's like Garfield was like anime. I don't really know. Like, what can I add to that? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, there's not much I can really... So... It's not so... For me, like, it's not a matter of if or can I do it. It's a matter of should I, or like, what am I adding by doing this, you know? I usually ask that to myself on everything that I do. Which, you know, actually it's probably detrimental to the channel because, you know, the thing is, YouTube people, I'm not saying you guys, but like a lot of people on YouTube just want the same thing over and over again. And if you have something that's successful, repeating that thing will bring you much success. But you know, then you run into the problem where your whole channel is about that one thing, and then you try to do something different, and everyone's like, "How come you're not doing this anymore?" You know, and so if I do something that's like doing pretty well, I try not to do too much more about it. So I did Thomas the Thermonuclear Bomb, and then I did that Joe Rogan like Thomas the Tank Engine. But honestly, that was just a shitpost video because I saw Joe Rogan in the bathtub, and I just wanted to like use it somehow and put something out because it's been so long since my last animation. Like I don't want to just go like half a year before without uploading stuff. So that video only took me like 2 days. So. Let's see here. Aureolus Zeta, do you have any real-life sketches of the sort, like figure drawings, for example? I do, but they're all kind of old, like, and I chucked a lot of them out. Because I went to art school, like, 10 years ago, so... A lot of figure drawing stuff. Drawing from life. I don't necessarily even like how a lot of it turned out, so if you don't see it like anywhere on my website, wherever, it's because I was still learning, really, you know. I'm not really organized to show any of that stuff right now, but maybe one day I'll do a stream and just go through some of my like really old artwork. Maybe that people may find that interesting. So 11:30 in 1 hour. I'm gonna go over the entries for the contest. Dude, how the fuck do you commit to one art style? Well, it's easy because, you know, I don't want interface to change how it looks halfway through. But like once interface is done and stuff, and I'm working on other things, I might try experimenting with different styles again. I might. Just to see like what else can be done, because, you know, there's more than just drawing pixel art, right? And it's not really pixel art. I guess it's just drawing at a low resolution, essentially. But I don't know, like aesthetically, all the videos kind of look the same, so it kind of has this like cohesiveness to the channel, you know? Which I don't really even know if it's that important. It just kind of makes me feel like, you know, like settles my, I don't know, I got like OCD. It's not really OCD, but it's something, my brain's like, it's got to be all the same for some reason. But I might do some experimenting after interface, just to, like, I might do like a short film, just a short. I don't know, probably not like not longer than like 5 minutes, but in a different style, just to see what else kind of stuff I can do, you know? Okay. You know, if I just tried freehanding this hand, like drawing it freehand, it would look like, it would look kind of crappy. I'm not very good at drawing hands. And, I don't want it to look crappy. It would look crappy in a bad way. It would look like out of place with the rest of the drawings. So I don't really think that rotoscoping is like cheating or whatever. I think it's just another tool, and it depends on how you use it. And you know, what is that like Renaissance painter who did those hyper-realistic paintings? He essentially used a camera obscura, from what I understand. Can't think of this guy's name right now for some reason. It's kind of the same thing. You just like you're tracing over like something that's been projected, basically. You know, I went to art school, and you can like look at something and draw it with your hand, like without having to like use a video or whatever. But you know, animation's like a whole different story, guys. Like if I'm doing a painting, that's one image. I have to draw 16 frames in one day. So, you know, by not rotoscoping, I'm essentially just wasting time. And it would take me like, you gotta figure out like how to do things efficiently, or otherwise you'll never get things done. Like, Rufus the Red, it's called perfectionism. It's fine to be a perfectionist about things you're passionate about. Yes. Senior fart face. Thank you for the comment there. Um, expand intellect. How has no relevance to the subject, but are you ever going to make interface shirts or hoodies again, or is that just long gone? What do you mean, man? I got tons of those things. They're let me just post a link. Okay, so if you go to UMAMImerch.com, you will find a if you scroll down, there's some shirts that are like on this UMAMImerch.com, but if you go to the Teespring, all the original hoodies and stuff that I used to make, they're still there. So you just have to, like, let me just pull this over here, for instance. Like, if you go to UMAMI, like Teespring UMAMI, you got these hoodies here. The Mischief hoodie is still here. Soup's On t-shirt is here, and more hoodies and stuff. But if you go up here and you click on hoodies and sweatshirts, and you can see like all of them, basically. And I have a lot more designs on Teespring than I do on UMAMImerch.com, so that's why when you go to UMAMI Merch, you can click on Teespring here, or you can go to the shop, and I do have some hoodies in here, and they're just slightly different designs. This one, for instance, is it's just like there's some stuff on the sleeves, so we're different. So I still got plenty of interface stuff. Maybe I should make some more though. I think a lot of creative people say that giving yourself limitations increases your creativity. Lars von Trier said that, and you guys are saying in the comments that Lynch is saying that as well. Well, I mean, I think it's definitely, if these are all people that have been successful doing things creatively, and the limitations definitely force you to be creative with what you have. That's like another thing. Like, even when I'm doing paintings and stuff, I don't like to. Me personally, I don't like to have like a huge selection of brushes and all these different colors and stuff. I'll stick with like 8 or so brushes. No, sorry, brushes. 8 or so colors. Maybe like a few specialty ones. And you could like mix colors with paint, obviously. So you really only need like yellow, green, and blue, but sorry, not yellow, blue, and red. But those more specific colors, I usually get like the like fluorescent colors, because it's hard to get really bright colors sometimes. Some of the other more, if you walk into an art store, sometimes it's a little overwhelming. There's like a trillion different colors, and so many different brushes. Like, I usually paint everything with like 3 brushes, maybe one small, one medium, one large. Oh, the bottom of the hand kind of gets small down here, so I'm gonna fix that. Body pillow. Yeah, man. Ever since I started this channel, people have been asking for body pillows, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about body pillows, but Teespring doesn't offer them, so I can't even sell them really, unless I were to like find a supplier myself, which I could do, but it's just I haven't done that yet. I do have something coming though at the end of the year. If people are looking for some cool merch, it's a jigsaw puzzle, so it's completely original design. The box is 100% original. 500-piece jigsaw puzzle, so I don't know when that's going to be available. Probably like around October, November for Christmas. It's got like a something funny on the bottom of the box too. I'll post more about that when I have details about it, but there's not really any news about that yet. Raoul Wallenberg. Rewatched all of Interface last night. It has definitely become a pillar of my internal inspiration. Hard to believe it's coming to an end. All the best to your future endeavors. Hey, well, thank you, Raoul, very much for that. I appreciate the support, and I'm very happy that you are finding some inspiration out of Interface. That's great, man. I never really thought about like what like impact Interface would have on people like when I was making it at the time. I just thought I want to make something kind of funny and weird, that's all. And I know some people are worried that like I'm just gonna make like silly videos after this and there won't be any like serious moments and stuff, but I don't think it's I don't think that's gonna happen because it just happens naturally with when I'm making animations. Like I don't know, like sometimes I just think about something and I don't know, the interface is kind of that's how interface would happen, just sort of happened. Like Teespring recently added bucket hats. Now, what do you people think about bucket hats? Because I personally I'm not really a fan of bucket hats. All I think of is like Paddington Bear or whatever. Okay, my hand is coming together, except the bottom of it's getting all jibbly-jabbly, like jerking around like some sort of... I'll fix that later. It's just because I don't really know, like there's no drawing where the... So I'll fix it later. I find that after you rotoscope things for a while, especially like hands, and you have to draw it like 16 times, when you do freelance hands, which I sometimes do, it's not so hard anymore because you kind of like have practice drawing a real hand, like just drawing on top of it. But it's the perspective is the hardest thing. And it's not necessarily the hand that's difficult, it's like the foreshadowing, the foreshortening and of all the different elements. It's so tricky to do. Like, especially with like a rotating shot like this. Like Carolina, though, I don't know. She's like, she can just draw hands free. Like, you can just draw them without even having to rotoscope or anything. I don't know how she does that. It's weird. All you guys in the chat being like, I like bucket hats. Is this for an animation or are you figuring stuff out? This is for one shot of interface episode 24. It's for, it's like an element in the shot, so it's not, there's like a lot of different things going on. When did I start rotoscoping? I think around episode 3, maybe. I can't really remember, actually. There's quite a few moments where I rotoscope things, and maybe it's not so obvious as this one, but because usually it's more noticeable the more frames you add, because it's like, you know, how could you have drawn that without rotoscoping? You know what I mean? But sometimes I would rotoscope things that are only like 3 frames, just so I have the correct perspective. Sometimes, well, a lot of what it was is, well, the last stream I drew a house, and that particular perspective, I wanted to make sure the perspective of the house was right, so I did a quick model in SketchUp first. And I used the model as a image in the background to draw from on top of, just so it gives me the correct perspective, because sometimes I have a hard time getting things to look right, you know? And the problem with my series is that it's, for the most part, correct perspective. Like, if my style of animation was like crazy, like the perspective of buildings was like, you know, something like this or whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter, then I wouldn't have to do that sort of thing. But I don't want it to look kind of like it doesn't look right in the series. I think one of the reasons why I chose to draw things more like realistically or anatomically correct or whatever, as much as I can, you know, with the limitations, like, you know, I'm not the best at drawing, but the reason why is because I feel like a lot of animation, particularly Western animation, doesn't even try to go there, really. At least not until maybe recently, I guess. So one of the reasons why I like King of the Hill is because they kind of drew people in it was cartoony kind of way, like expressive and stuff, but they still had like, I don't know, they still had like anatomy to their bodies and stuff. It seems like nowadays a lot of cartoons are just Family Guy kind of rip-offs. They all sort of look like Family Guy. Like, there's nothing wrong with Family Guy's style per se. It's just that now there's like 10 other shows that look like Family Guy, and like, I don't know. I wish these studios would be more experimental with their arts, because when it comes to animation, you can literally you can do anything. And I don't know why they all rely on the same kind of like Family Guy style. I mean, I know why. It's because it's cheap and easy. That's the real reason. But, You know, I'm not doing animation because I want to make something cheap and easy. Well, I am doing something that's relatively cheap. It's just me doing it, but I just don't see the point in like creating like media that just feels like a derivative of something else so much. So, you know. Some of the nails are missing in the last frame. Okay, I might go through those. I might have ever heard of Calm Trues. Your music reminds me a lot of it. It's amazing how much. Hey, I don't know how your name is a bunch of H's and R's, but thank you for that. I haven't heard of Calm Trues. Is that a musician? Must be a musician. Skrillaman, thank you. Hey, have you ever messed with that idea that affects mannequins? It's like where it's humanoid but just slightly off, so it makes the whole thing uneasy. I'm not really sure what you're asking me, but like, you talking about like the uncanny valley or whatever? Aureolus Zeta? Yeah. I mean, okay, so this is gonna sound like some sort of like nostalgia rant or whatever, but like, I don't know, like I feel like in the 90s and stuff, they had like a lot more different variations in style. Like you had that show Arthur that was had a unique style to it. And then there was I used to watch this show when I was a kid called Rupert the Bear, which was like a more illustrative version of that. And then you had Tintin, which was a completely different style. The Simpsons were a completely different thing. Then you had Rocko's Modern Life, which was just completely wacky. Ren and Stimpy were completely bizarre, but distinct of their own style, right? SpongeBob came around, that was its own thing. And King of the Hill was a completely different look from you know, even like Mike Judge, like it looked different from his previous work. Like it wouldn't quite look like Beavis and Butthead. You know, it was way more refined and less jittery. And nowadays, I watch like, you know, I don't watch any of these shows, but I see on Netflix they got like, I don't know, there's like 8 shows. They look the exact same. Like BoJack Horseman looks like Tuca and Birdie, and it also looks like Bill Burr's television show, and then it looks like Family Guy and Cleveland Show, and they all fucking look the same. It's just like, good God, people, like, make something different. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier today to make something different than it was in the 90s because you don't have to rely on cell shading and sending things to Korea anymore. Or maybe you do, but it's all digital, so the costs have gone down so much, and yet everything looks more the same than it did when it was more difficult. It's very frustrating. You know, I'm not like it doesn't like I don't get mad about it or anything, but it's a frustrating thing because you just why I don't know what there's just an aversion to taking risks. I guess. Pompous Fool, I hope this moderate donation is appreciated. Hey, Pompous Fool, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Have you guys like ever watched? You must have seen like season like 3 of The Simpsons, or like season 2. Like the amount of drawings that they did was absolutely insane. Like they would do a joke, and they would have like 10 different locations for like 10 seconds of animation. Like they would cut through all these different things, and it'd be like different angles and perspectives, and camera would be like up here or down here. And now the current Simpsons, everything's kind of like been changed to the point it's just flat. Kind of everything's flat. And the camera work is not part of the joke anymore. It's depressing, honestly. I don't know, that show has been ruined so much. They basically turned the show into a commodity. in which it doesn't matter so much if they're making anything that's going to be part of the cultural zeitgeist at the current time. It was definitely in the 90s, but today, like, it's just so irrelevant. Like, no one's watching. Do people really watch The Simpsons? I'm sure that some people watch The Simpsons right now. And sometimes I do, if it's on television, like on Sunday, I might be curious to see what it's. But every time I watch it, I'm just like disappointed. So I don't really do that. Okay, so this is my hand. I think that's enough frames. I don't have to draw the last one. Okay, so I can get rid of my video now. Well, I might just leave it, just disable it. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh yeah. Invader Sim. Even like the Powerpuff Girls was like a distinct style on its own, you know? They might do a new season of Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge wanted to do live action for a movie. Live action Beavis and Butthead. I'm sure if Mike Judge is involved, he'll make it work. He seems to make everything work. Have you seen that you can buy original art cells from All Dogs Go to Heaven and Brave Little Toaster? I have not seen that, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah. A lot of oh, hold on. The thumbnails are missing. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Should be good now. Mikey Pike Hatfield. The way you imagine scenes based on the music is how I live my life. Audio and vision are inexorably like puts. Oh. Hold on there. I hope that my stream didn't just die for a second. I think I should be okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. I don't know. I never really just kind of a creative thing that just music kind of helps me visualize scenes of this. Anyway, so I'm drawing the hand, coloring it in, and I wish there was a gap fill tool in Photoshop, but there's not. Trying to find where the gap is possible. So I'll probably just color it in myself. Or at least do half of it. Oh, there it is. It's between. Okay, right here. How long does it take to make the animation? Well, Kira, it depends because, like, this one's taken me over 5 months, and usually they don't take me that long. So it depends on the animation. The Pong one I did in an afternoon, so there's not much there. You know, if I get a great idea, usually it doesn't take me that long because the idea is so good that it's a very precise idea, meaning that it's like distilled down, and I can just make something using really basic elements like the Pong video and the Grubhub video. The ideas were so simple that it didn't require me to work on something for such a long time, and the videos were still enjoyable. There was an art contest. Yes. I posted about it on the community page and Twitter, but YouTube doesn't really like show my posts to anyone, or not always, doesn't always show my stuff. So if you didn't know about the art contest, and I would suggest you click the bell on my YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you had, then I don't know, it might have been a glitch or something, because the art contest was basically, I think it was announced like a month ago. And there wasn't actually that many entries, but I think it's, you know, it's the summertime, and I think I probably could have advertised it a little bit better, but I can't, like, I don't know, it was the past month I've been like moving and stuff, and finally it's starting to settle in. As you can see, I'm in a different room than usual. Like, usually there was like cardboard boxes behind me and stuff. So I don't know, I gotta put something on this wall, like, to make it a little bit more interesting.
Hello.
Hi, Caroline. Oh yeah, okay, so in 20 minutes I'm going to be going through the art contest entries, so
How many minutes?
I said 12:30, yeah, so that, you know, 12:09, 20 minutes. You might have to sit a little closer if you want to be on the camera. You should check out the Big Les show. Yeah, I recommend the Big Les show. I've seen that. It's hilarious. And I saw he put out a new animation recently. Or I guess it wasn't an animation, it was like a documentary sort of thing. Oh, it was like Clarence, like, directing the movie. Clarence on the Big Les show is like the funniest character. And like the whole Glen World thing is so out of the blue that yeah, that shows that web series is great. So if you guys haven't seen the Big Les show, you should check it out. The first like season or whatever is like super potato though. And the sound is like flipping and stuff. It's hard to hear, but like it's worth getting it through because it's so funny. And I think there's a problem with my drawing because actually there's actually supposed to be a wrist in this shot, so I might just just gonna add a wrist in. Mike Morabito, what is my day job? This is my day job now. Uh, thanks to you guys. I mean, basically, the Patreon and stuff, I've been able to just focus on this 100%. I have not had to do a freelance job in probably a couple years. Before I started animating like this, I used to freelance as a video editor. So I would go to different companies and do video editing for them. Like sometimes it was a children's television show that they needed an editor to do like a pilot, to edit the pilot for them, and or some video game company was working on a trailer and they needed someone to help them finish the edit. That's the kind of stuff I would do before this. I worked on some video game trailers because this guy I used to work with would hire me all the time to help him on these projects, and he had all the connections to these big video game companies in Montreal. So I used to work on some behind-the-scenes videos too. Are actually kind of fun. You know how like motion capture, like video games have motion capture where they wear suits and stuff? So we would go and film like at Ubisoft. I don't know if I can say this now because the games have been released. We'd like film at their like motion capture studio in Montreal. The actors doing their performances, and then we'd make like a video just talking about it, basically. Just they can put it on their YouTube channel, that sort of thing, right? So those were kind of fun, actually. I mean, those were pretty good freelance jobs. I was pretty lucky to get that kind of work. Because there was some stuff I would work on. Like, we had one job where we had to drive up to Trois-Rivières in Quebec and film a cardboard factory, film how the safety on their forklift, like a safety forklift video. And that was fine. There was nothing wrong with that, except that, like, I don't know, it's like give them the invoice, like, and it took them like 4 months to pay, and arguing back and forth. It's just a pain in the ass, man. Freelancing can be fun, and it can also be a pain in the ass. So Jacobus Hanley, thank you. And, you know, between getting freelance stuff, sometimes I would do random jobs, like background acting. I used to do background acting because you get paid like minimum wage, basically, but it would be for like 16-hour days or 14-hour days. And they give you free dinner and lunch and stuff, so it was like a plus. So I used to do that in Halifax quite a bit, and then I came to Montreal and I did it a little bit as well, but there's so much people in Montreal that it's like, I don't know, it's like not as fun to do background acting in Montreal because like really the only times they need you is when they need like a huge crowd of people, And in Halifax, like, usually it was like more like intimate, like they need you to be like a mechanic in a garage doing something, or it'd be like a more specific kind of role, you know? I did some background acting here in Montreal, and it was like slave number 4000 for what's that movie? X-Men Apocalypse or whatever it was called. I forget. And there's just like so much people. It's kind of stressful. Like there was like 200 people on set that day. It wasn't very fun, honestly. It was like kind of stressed. It was hot outside too. I remember that. Ugh. So I don't really do background acting anymore. I might do it again if this, you know, just for fun, really. That's the only reason why I do it. Just to break up the monotony of the day job, you know. But you know, I don't really do it anymore because I'm animating, so I don't really feel like the need to do that, right? If I was freelancing doing cardboard videos, that's a different story. Hammy, for real, any advice for anyone who wants to go into freelance? My advice would be to look for Facebook groups, because that's where I got a lot of my jobs back in the day. I don't know if it's the same thing anymore. And get yourself on all those websites like Upwork, and probably, I don't know, probably not Fiverr, but like Upwork at least. You know, just, it's a little bit more professional, I find. Because you'll find some jobs, like I'm hiring people through Upwork to help me on this particular animation. Someone that can do like 3D stuff. And I used to, you know, Craigslist and stuff, that's dead. There's nothing on there anymore. Try to do an amazing job when you do work, and, you know, build connections with people. And another thing is, though, you have to learn to turn jobs down. If someone's like not willing to pay your rate and sounds like a headache, turn it down, because you're gonna end up spending more time and energy doing this thing when you could have just been looking for a better job. I mean, unless you're like desperate for work, you know. That happened in Montreal. Like when I was freelancing, Vice Media came to Montreal and they were looking for an editor, and this friend of mine actually got me an interview with them, which was very nice of him, except that they didn't want to pay my rates, and my rates were low, basically, and they couldn't even, you know. Vice Media is notorious for underpaying their staff, and anyway, I think they're like, their Montreal office is shut down now and stuff. So, but the most hilarious thing was like the producer or whatever trying to convince me what my value was for my time, and she wanted me to. It was 7 o'clock at night. She wanted me to come down to their office for some emergency video editing that needed to be done. Number one, if it's a video for Vice, there's nothing that's an emergency. It's, even if it's like a cool documentary that they're filming, it can wait. It's not that important. You're not filming that like the news, like it has to go up on tonight's broadcast or whatever. So she wanted me to come at regular hours, like the same. She called me the same time, and she wouldn't even agree to my rate, which was already reduced from my standard rate, because they couldn't afford whatever I was asking. The thing with freelancing is you have to pay self-employment tax. You have to buy all your own computers. You have to pay for the insurance that you work in, the apartment you work in. You have to pay taxes. It's you can't just charge minimum wage. Like you have to pay, you have to like charge more, right? If you're freelancing, there's all these expenses. Not only that, like travel expenses, like just going somewhere, your time is valued too. You know, I used to freelance, and there was this one time this guy wanted me to come down and talk to the client, whatever, right? And it was across town. You got to take a metro. That costs money. It takes 3 hours out of your day, right? And I said, you know, I'm charging my hourly rate just to be here, right? You know this. And he looked at me confused, like it's confusing to him. It's like, well, I'm not just traveling across town so I can talk to a client for free. You know what I mean? Like you have to, you know, that's the hardest thing is valuing yourself as a freelancer. You know, and another thing is if there's a lot of people doing what you're doing, that's hard to do. So if you're finding that it's difficult to find work as a video editor or whatever, maybe it's not, you know, it's maybe not a good industry anymore. It was kind of rough when I was doing that stuff at the time because Premiere has made it so easy for people to learn how to video edit, and that's a good thing, I guess. But my advice is freelance video editing is not a good future career. You should learn how to video edit and stuff for your own projects or for your own business ventures. But you don't want to be doing editing for someone else because you have to think about in 10 years, are people going to have the same skills that I have, and how many more people are going to have those skills? And video editing is going to explode. It's already exploded, really. YouTube has made everyone a video editor. And in 10 years from now, there's going to be twice as many people who know how to video edit, 3 times as many. It's hard to ask for a high, you know, hourly rate if, you know, if 1/10 of the population knows how to video edit. So. Check Death. Hey, man. Hey, the soundtrack for Interface Part 2 is coming very soon, by the way. As soon as this episode comes out, I'm going to release that soundtrack. I would advise getting Hammy for real. I would advise, yeah. Okay, I see. You know, one thing that I feel like they don't really teach people in school is they don't teach you to kind of treat the job market like a stock market. And what that means is when you buy a stock, like it's not necessarily it's a successful company, but it's not like necessarily what it could be in the future, right? And so what I'm saying is, like, if you get into, like, if you're going into a career, you have to think about what that career will be like 20 years from now, or 15 years, or 10 years. So there's a lot of jobs now that are being upended because of automation. So factory jobs, like warehouse jobs, trucking industry apparently is going to have driver-free trucks. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but it's just something to think about. So be aware of it, you know. And the same goes for the creative field. So graphic design, video editing. Are these things that are going to be valuable for you to do in the future? I feel like we're already approaching peak media saturation. There's so many television shows that come out, so many YouTube channels to follow. How much further can we go before it gets to a point where well, there's a limited amount of growth, is what I'm saying. And I don't know if, like, there could be in the future a lot of video editing jobs. But from my experience, though, I find that that's a tough industry right now, as it is. Not to discourage people from going into those careers. I mean, what you want to do, but just the things to consider. That's all. And, you know, I didn't really think that when I was younger. I mean, it sort of worked out for me back then, though. I used to do video editing. I started video editing on like a VHS camera, like rewinding the tape and recording over it and stuff. And during my lifetime, YouTube became this sort of thing, right? We don't know what the next big thing is going to be. Like, I don't have no idea. There was the whole one industry that completely bypassed me, that I was completely, was the cell phone industry and like apps, like programming. Like, if people were into programming back in 2005, 2004, and they really were on the ball when it came to programming, they would have made a killing as a freelancer, and they would have made even more as an independent developer. Like, they made their own products, you know, apps and stuff. These are like things like, how do you predict that? Like, what's the next thing gonna be? Who knows, right? Like, is the iPad gonna, like, what's after apps, you know? Is it gonna be something else? Who knows? I don't know what it is. That's like asking about YouTube in 2001. Like, it didn't exist. No one knows. There were some websites that had streaming on them back then. E-Bombs World, I think. ZTV. ZTV was like this Canadian television show that was kind of ahead of its time because it was basically like YouTube before YouTube even existed. And once YouTube came out, I think their whole business model, it wasn't really a business model. It was a bizarre television show that would air at 12 at night, where they would upload video clips and they would select video clips and air it. It'd be like short films, whatever. Oh, it's 12:30. So I'm gonna go through these entries now. Okay. All right, everyone. So here, let's scooch in closer. So, as I was talking about earlier, there was an art contest in the Discord, so I'm going to go through all the entries, and I actually have not seen these entries up close yet. I have purposely been avoiding looking at them because I want my reactions to be genuine. So there's two winners. There's going to be the popular choice, the people in the Discord already voted on, and there's going to be UMAMI's choice, or UMAMI and Carolina's choice, so whichever one that we agree we think will win, so there'll be two winners. And the merch...
Shrek is here? Excuse me.
I don't think she's talking about you. You are wearing green, so maybe...
Wow.
Okay. So, going into the Discord to look at these art contest entries. By the way, I want to thank Crab Lord, Agent Fetus, Perspiration Rover, Sheriff Cowboy.
That's me, dang it.
Sheriff Error, Tricky Dicky, and also Texas Sweet Tweet Arg2 and Arg can't count to 6, which I think the same person, for managing the Discord and cleaning it up and stuff, because I couldn't really do any like these contests without them. So thank you to the mods. Okay. All right, so the contest was called UMAMI Beach Episode, and then it says, well, we all know what that means, make art or anything from the UMAMI-verse, enjoying their summer at the beach. Will they go for a swim, get sunburnt to a crisp, bury someone in the sand and leave them into nature's mercy? Put your flip-flops on, pack your snorkel, and don't forget the sunscreen, and let your creativity flow. Okay, time to look at some artwork. So, the first entry is from Kendra for the Friends. Is the one... okay, so Kendra from the Friends sent us the very first submission. And it's kind of dark. Let me see if I can open it up. It says, I can't swim here. And it's a picture of Cammy on the beach. Very nice artwork.
She can swim anywhere?
She can't swim here.
Why not?
I feel like if she went in the salt water, though, she'd probably get electrocuted or short circuit or something.
But she can swim in what?
She could probably only swim in like aquatic lubrication for like washing machines and stuff.
Aquatic lubrication for washing machines.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good English.
Thank you, Kendra, or Kundra. I'm not really sure how to say her name. Next entry is from Mali. Here's my painting of our favorite interface boys smacking each other around at the beach.
That's a lot of pit hair.
Okay, let me just zoom in here.
That's my reaction.
Very nice.
Got body hair.
It looks like almost like done in my style, like it's pixelated. It's got the same kind of look to it. Henrik's expression is quite hilarious. Except he doesn't have any nipples. So...
They censored it for your stream.
My stream has been censored.
No male nipples allowed.
There's no nipples on Henrik.
Nipple removal surgery happened on Henrik.
Yes, and it looks like Mischief is enjoying being spanked. Very nice artwork. I appreciate this one. Thank you, Molly. Those clouds do look on point. Yes, for sure. Next one we have is from Anana Bread. I love Umami's Campbell character, so I wanted to include them in the fun.
Soup son. I like this one.
Let me zoom in here. This looks funny.
Look at his little ass.
Okay.
It's such a big head.
This one needs some examination up close. Oh. First of all, we have Mischief being a worm.
Very thick worm.
Is this Mark Zuckerberg with his grill?
Yeah.
He's got his oven mitts on. And it looks like the soup son jumped out of his can, which is right here.
And he's skinny dipping.
And then he's skinny dipping into the
He's got a
ocean.
little ass.
Oh, wait a second.
He's yeah, you get it? Isn't that great? He turns into the world. Oh, I love this one.
Okay, so this one's great because it's so funny. The soup son just becomes the ocean.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good one. I like that. That's hilarious. At what point does, when you add soup to the ocean, does the ocean become soup?
When it's the soup son, that's at any point because he's so glorious. Right?
Yeah.
If it was like no name brand soup though, it would just water down and disappear.
Yes. Because the soup son is very condensed.
That's right.
Thank you, Anna Bread. That was hilarious.
He's swirled.
The next submission comes from Lazy Rainwing 5. This is zoom in here.
It's a very psoriasis elbows and knees.
Oh man. Henrik looks like he got sunburnt to an extreme.
He also Benjamin Button to a different time period in his life. Very young.
But very nice art style. I quite like this line art you get here. It looks, I don't know, is it like, looks like a real drawing, like he used markers perhaps.
Yeah, I see marker lines.
Very nice. And looks like Mischief being his umbrella there. Some shade so he doesn't...
Soups on ends world hunger. Because he becomes the world.
And perhaps the soup son is in the background of this drawing too, because it does look like he...
His son. Grilled Henrik.
I like this. Nice one. Okay, so thank you, Lazy Rain Wing 5. Oh boy. Okay. Next, we have this one from Redo. It's Mischief on lifeguard duty.
Is that a real painting too?
It looks like it might be digital. I'm not sure, but it's actually I don't know. It's just enjoyable, aesthetically
He's
simple,
very happy.
but yeah, quite nice. Yeah. He looks like he wants people to drown just so he can save them. Yeah, no, this is very nice work. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at it because I like the smoothness of the artwork. It's very aesthetically pleasing.
Got a
Redo,
big chin.
nice work. Okay, next one here is Abe's Anima sunset scene. I almost said Abe's Enema.
Is that what it says?
No, it's Enema. Oh, it is Enema. All right.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, this one's got some
That's a
details.
scary mouth.
I don't know what's going on with Mischief's mouth.
That's
there.
a really
Can
scary
you guys
mouth.
see that? He's been like ducked, like turned into a duck. So he's got like a duck mouth. That's actually kind of funny. Because of how disturbing it looks. That's funny. Okay, and also we have Cammy in the sun. It looks like,
I just noticed that.
and it looks like some nice details of like a pier in the background, and it looks like some
Lovely garbage.
garbage or some house that got destroyed or something.
Looks like Canada.
You know what? This is I like this drawing because it feels like it could have been a scene from the actual episodes, because it's just so bleak, and Henrik's just smoking a cigarette here while Mischief's still being silly. Like he's like, "Why don't you come play in the ocean or something?" But there's like garbage in the background.
Yeah, I'd say get tuberculosis or tetanus or something from swimming over there.
He just gets like plutonium poisoning from swimming in the ocean.
No, that's Russia.
How do you know this isn't Russia? This could be Russia.
No, it looks like Canada.
Okay. But also the lighting is quite nice too. The glow on the ocean is beautiful in the shadows here. So this is very it's a nice image. So nice work, Abe's Enema. Here's a submission for Shanks.
Rings.
Shranks? Hey, it's like it's another like blow up Mischief.
Yeah, blow up Mischief seems to be a theme this time.
But this one's quite nice and graphical in its own way. Mischief there's floating around in the donut, and Henrik covering up his face so that he can pass out in the sun. Looks like. Yeah, it's really nice and graphical and nice one. Shanks? Sharks?
Shrinks.
Shrinks?
There's an N.
Beautiful work, Shrinks.
This one's my favorite, personally.
Okay. Quite the creative submission from Mad Alien. Let's see. Please, there's sand in my ass crack. Oh my god. What am I looking at?
You're looking at Jimmy Alfonso stuck in a sand hole.
Oh man, this is funny.
Yeah.
I like this because of the little two buttons down here that give you an option of what to do. Keep burying Alphonsus in the sand.
I like how there's a wave just kind of like foreboding that he's gonna get covered with water at any point. It's just like thinking about him getting like salty sea barnacle water in his eyes is really satisfying.
I wish Chimney Alfonso wasn't like so difficult to make, because I would do more of them, but it's like so much friggin' work. It stresses me out thinking about it.
Hire a bunch of fibers.
Yeah, well, but this is I quite like this one. Nice work, and it looks like watercolor maybe.
Wow, it's a painting.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice they actually painted it.
It looks like it.
I'm
so
very impressed.
very
with
nice.
This.
Mad Alien, nice
No, I
work.
can't.
Yeah. Next one is from Themis W.
Man, you guys with your names.
No, it's the Miss W.
Next time we have an art contest, everyone should change their name to be the hardest thing to pronounce.
Alright, let's see this. Oh, that didn't work. It wants me to like download it for some reason. Okay.
Too big of a JPEG.
UMAMI beach episode. Okay. Oh,
Miami Vice.
this is very stylish. Looks like, yeah, it looks like it could have been a poster for some sort of movie or something. You know, the artwork kind of reminds me of what is that like artist that he does like a painting of he did a painting of like a guy jumping into a pool, and there's like palm trees in the background, and all you see is like the splash of the pool.
Yeah, I don't know which painting you're talking about. I don't know who did it though.
I can't remember that. I can't remember the name, but it reminds me of that art style.
As usual, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
I just see it in my head.
But you know what? I like this black dark shadow with Henrik here, and the waves are quite nice looking, and the octopus out in the ocean. It's a nice little detail. Very stylish. Oh, I didn't even notice this.
There's a blimp.
The greetings blimp is up in the sky here, kind of like in the distance. That's cool. Very nice. The Miss W, thank you for that. Nice work. Next one. The next drawing is from Foams. Let's see. Mischief is saying, I'm a beautiful mermaid tail. And then it looks like... It looks like...
got nipples. That's where his nipples went.
I can't... It looks kind of like Henrik became a mermaid because Mischief became his tail. But then Mischief also gave him breasts. That's what it kind of looks like from this. Because of the two clamshells here.
That's a bit awkward.
It's pretty funny. Mischief's just like, I didn't ask for this. That's funny. I like this one. Yeah, good. Foams, thank you for this lovely work. Next one is from Okay, here's the next one called Radical Henrik from Seamus.
Gnarly, man.
All right, let's take a look at this one.
Like it's Pizza Kid.
Bro.
Yeah, so many characters people remember. What is happening with
Seamus.
his expression, though?
I feel like that's the correct expression Henrik would have
Yeah.
if Mischief was being a surfboard. Look at the wave. Like, look at the... That's a nice looking wave, like a pixelated
Did you
wave.
stipple that in?
I don't know, man. That's very... It's like very dimensional looking, and the art style is so... It matches, you know? It matches the episode, so it's very nice. But nicely done. I like how the Pizza Kid is right down here. Looks like the Pizza Kid, yeah. That's pretty funny. Seamus's artwork is always on point. Yeah. Very nice work, thank you.
This one. It's a bit spooky.
Misu Chan, Seamus is my brother. And today we got this entry from Uli. The smell of mango. Okay, let's open this one up.
Oh,
Gotta zoom in on this one.
this is kind of scary.
Let me just see what I'm looking at exactly. It looks like Mischief, but what he's... Okay, I'm Muskrat. He's not saying I'm a muskrat, he's just saying I'm Muskrat. And then there's, what is this? Is this like an eye, or...
I don't know. It's Zoran or whatever it's called.
It kind of looks like
It's Lord of the Rings
a
happening
Lord of the
back
Rings
there.
happening background. I'm not sure, maybe a... Kind of looks like a halibut.
No.
It's... I feel like... Look at the little static down here, too. That's interesting detail. This is like abstract in a
It's
low
really
resolution
scaring
kind of
me.
way. Yeah.
I don't know what it's a feel with this one.
It's a strange one, that's for sure. But I'd like it. Uli, thank you very much. The smell of mango. Is that mango over there? I don't know what that is.
There's multiple levels of confusion.
It's just the smell of mango. That's just the smell. Thank you, Uli, for this lovely artwork. Okay, another great entry, this time from Vio. I'm going to have to open this one up. Zoom in there. I'm going to have to scroll because the resolution is...
Sunset.
Dude, this is a really cool looking drawing of Cammy there, or Tommy, I can see. Very cool, nice. I like the moon you got in the background, or I guess it's the sun, depending on who you ask, but... very nicely drawn. Oh, and then he comes down here, and it's like the perfect storm, except Mischief's just smiling on a boat. And Henrik is standing right here in the foreground. That's very nice. I feel like it's... I feel like metaphorically it's consistent with the series, because Cammy's being all epic and evil looking and stuff up in the distance, and Henrik is kind of forced to deal with it, but at the same time, Mischief's just goofing around in a boat. So I really like this. And then the colors is really nice too. It looks kind of like, I don't
I
know.
relate to Henrik in this image. That's you right there.
Carolina says she relates to Henrik because this is me, apparently, being goofy all the time. The colors remind me of like when a lens refracts and you see all these like different colors of light. So it's kind of cool. I like it. Nice work, Vio. Okay, we have another entry from Uli. This one's called I'm Henrer Wick,
Okay.
not Henrik. Okay.
No, you're not muskrat. Fuck. These are upsetting me. Look how shiny he is. It's like too 3D. It's like
Okay.
I've never had images make me this upset.
Oh, this one. Okay, he
I
stole.
just find this funny because he's so nice to me, unlike most people, and then he created this. I'm muskrat.
Muskrat. He's just stole his hat and he's like, I'm muskrat. He's just being bizarre looking in the distance. I like this one a lot, actually. I think
I
this,
like the pink tube texture.
yeah, I like how it looks like a photograph almost. Like,
Yeah, and then the rest is not.
it's so weird. I'm muskrat. I don't even know what that means. It sounds like he's trying to be a Henrik,
Trying to be not.
but he's still being a muskrat from like the
It's
previous
like he
shot.
dropped to the 50. No, no.
Okay. Thank you, Uli, for that. It's funny.
Father Cholesterol. What a great name.
Got a scandalous submission from the lovely Father Cholesterol. So let's take a look at this one now.
Yeah. The power pose.
Looks like Kami is doing some
Lunges.
like power lunges on the beach. And her baby blimp in the background is it's just hanging out back there, and we got Mischief being in the sun, giving her all the sunlight she needs for a nice tan.
Say, I'm muskrat.
I'm muskrat. Color-wise, it's very nice. I like the pastel colors he chose. And oh, whoa! Someone did a super chat there. I'm gonna have to. I'll mention after this. I'm just gonna go through the artwork first. Yeah, the drawing of Cammy is really nicely done. I like the line work too, like the weight of the line, especially around the toes here. It's quite pleasing, and shadows, everything. The color choices are great. So nice work, and the hair too. Like the dimensionality of the hair, it looks really like even better than I draw sometimes. I feel like. There's like 3D looking to it. So, Father Cholesterol, thank you very much for that. And I'm going to get to the last entry here before I get to this super chat. This one is from Roshando. As the competition comes to an end, here's another entry from Roshando. Let me just zoom in on this one too. Oh, bro, this one. Okay, first of all, it looks like.
Bro.
I like
Bro.
like the this is what is this? Is this the blimp in the background?
No, it's the sunflower seed.
Is it? It's
No.
a sunflower.
Why would you fall for that? That's so shitty.
I like this use of. It kind of looks like. Like a collage maybe, and some sort of effect on top, or maybe he's using it to draw on top of, but it looks very like photographic, and I like how Mischief is just like a giant boat, or it looks like he's like a container ship.
A muskrat.
He's Muskrat. I think we gotta change Mischief's name to Muskrat. And Henrik is just kind of relaxing. He doesn't even have his jacket on, so he knows he's at the beach, so. I like this one a lot. This is nice. This is aesthetically a interesting image. I like it. Roshan Dow, thank you very much. Okay, so those are all the entries. Now, actually, Patrick Brown, keep up the great work, UMAMI. Really enjoy seeing everyone else's art as well. Good job, everyone. Hey, Patrick Brown, thank you very much for that. That's quite generous and kind of you. Thank you so much. All right, so now we're going to go through the winners of the contest. So, I already know which one of the winners are, okay?
Oh, I hope.
The popular choice, which was voted on past week, came in. And Crab Lord informed me that the winner was this one from Vio. So, congratulations, Vio. You have won the popular choice entry for the contest. So, I'm going to send you a message after the live stream, and you can choose anything from the merch store, anything you want, and that is your prize. Both merch stores or any merch store. Could be anything. So, I'll send you a message. Now, the next winner is going to be UMAMI's choice and Carolina's choice. We're going to have to like decide who the winner is.
Well,
together.
I'm pretty set on Alfonso, I'm sorry. So if you don't like Alfonso enough, it's too bad.
Okay. I might have to have two other winners. I might
Oh my god. You don't have to make anyone win. I'm just here.
Okay. Caroline is saying that she likes the Alfonso one quite a lot. And while my favorites, I have a lot of favorites here, I do enjoy this one a lot.
That's my runner-up.
This is I'm having a hard time. I really like this one and Anna Bread, but my personal favorite, I think, is Muskrat. I gotta
Are
say,
you serious?
I don't know what it is about this image. It's just so. It's like. Can you imagine walking into like the Guggenheim and just seeing this on the
I'm
wall?
Muskrat.
Like it would feel like it would feel out of place, but at the same time you'd kind
It
of be
would
like,
have to be printed like 2 by 4 feet tall.
like I don't know. It just
I'm Muskrat.
it aesthetically completes. It feels complete. It's something about it. It's very well
I like his
balanced.
smile. Look how happy he is.
Yeah, and the fact that he's saying Muskrat is. I don't know, man. So Carolina's choice. Okay, we're gonna have 3 winners. All right. So the first one was Vio. Carolina's choice is Mad Alien,
That's right.
and my choice is I'm Henrik, not Henrik.
I'm Muskrat.
I'm Muskrat. So those are the 3 winners. So all 3 winners, congratulations. Everyone else that has put in an entry.
Hold up,
What-
hold up.
what?
Look at the horizon line in this image.
It doesn't matter.
It's like what speed and where is it going?
Listen, thank you very much to everyone who has entered the contest. I appreciate all the entries. Everyone who has submitted, very good work. And congratulations to the winners. For those people who have won, I will message you after this live stream. So check your messages, and I'll be in touch. And I'm going to say runner-up for me would have been an Anna Bread. Thank you very much for that one too. But there's only 3 winners, so that's it for now. That's it. Congratulations, everyone. I'm going to continue drawing my hand.
Okay. I'm gonna go lie down somewhere. Bye.
All right. See you.
Shit.
Just get out of here.
Bye.
Okay. Back to my hand. It's very creative. Everyone is very creative. Amazing. Okay. Let's go back here. Just make sure everything's. Okay. So, the artist you were thinking of with the guy diving into the pool is Japanese painter Hiroshi Nagai, or Nagai. Oh yeah, let me see. Let me just look that one up so I can show you guys what I was talking about. Luke Phonomus. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is the art style I was thinking of, I think. Let me just pull it up so you can see it. Yeah, very, felt very similar. Inspired, actually. Especially, yeah, definitely. I feel it must have been inspired. Very similar aesthetic. Actually, this is a different artist from the one I was thinking of. This looks like very close to who the artist I was thinking of, but I think the one I was thinking of was American, and I don't see the one that I'm looking at, that I was thinking of. Let me just see if I can splash painting. Okay, this is the artwork I was thinking of, but the other artwork that you mentioned there. Okay, David Hockney. Yeah, I was thinking of David Hockney. But that's interesting that you mentioned that other artist there, because that also has a very similar aesthetic to it. Yeah, cool. Okay, back to the regular stream. So I have to continue drawing the wrist because the wrist is missing. I'm really hoping for this heat wave to be over. I'm not like, you know, summer is like, it's difficult for me. I don't know how people can live in Texas and stuff when it's like summer year round. Or like Australia. The heat is brutal. Okay, now. Can you please draw with love? I will draw with love. I will try to draw with love. Mika Pike, I'm out of here. See ya. Bye-bye. Yeah, both of those artists are interesting. You should check them out. Okay. I'm just getting the base layer of pink on here, and then afterwards I have to add in the shadows later. But I might be kind of sparse with my shadows, because in this particular shot, it's kind of like there's not really a direct light source. Oh, it's missing a fingernail. That's probably the one you guys are talking about earlier. Okay, I think that's all the frames. Cool, eh? Yeah, so now Texas gets dry and temperate in winter and fall. Fall is breezy like 70s and 80s, and the height of the winter can reach 50. South Texas, you can just get used to sweating all day. There's AC everywhere too if you don't work outside. Yeah. Thanks, Danny Dorito. You know, the problem I have is not necessarily the heat. Like, if it's just dry heat, I'm okay with it. But, like, Montreal is, like, got a river on both sides of it, and it gets, like, moist. It's like a moist heat. So I don't know if it's, like, worse or better than... Okay, anyway, so let's see. The hand back. So, okay, anyone who's watching now, and they don't want to, like, spoil the shot, I'm going to open up After Effects. Otherwise, you're going to see a little bit more stuff. So I'm just letting you know now, if you don't want to ruin the shot for yourself, whatever, stop watching the stream, basically, because I have to open up After Effects now. Because I need to see how this image is going to work in my composition. So, I have this shot here that I've been working on. And basically the hand is on the back of, like, the back side of the mask. It's like behind it. And what I need to do is have it rotate around so that's in front. So I don't know if it's going to work or how easy it's going to work. We'll find out. Yeah, so so the hand is actually behind the mask at this point. It's going to rotate, and you're going to see it on the other side. Hammy, for real, I think Canada and Norway have much in common, like cold, the climate, and strong sun rays. Yeah. This episode has so many awesome shots in it that I feel like so many awesome shots that I have not streamed. So I don't think it's not gonna ruin. Like, there's like some crazy stuff that is in store for this episode. Let me just see. I think I need to make it like move to the side for a second. So position, animate the position. At this point, maybe it should be further back, like here. Also, it looks a little big, so maybe I'll scale it down just a bit. I don't know. I like the size of it, though. Rather than scaling it, though, I'll just set it further back in the distance, because it's the way you should do things in After Effects. That's kind of... I kind of like that. I don't know. I wonder about having the base there, you know? I'm actually gonna scale it back up a bit, though. I don't care if it's too big. Position. So when it's at this point, though, it does get bigger because it's coming towards the camera. So maybe I actually should shrink it down just a bit. On the side here, maybe have it further out here like that. And then what I do is I duplicate this layer, the hand, move it above the mask because at this point it's in front of Cammy's masks. And then I take the position tool and I bring it over here. Scale it up. It's kind of cool. Now, you notice how the frame rate of the hand animation is at 7.5 frames per second, but the composition is 15 frames a second. But what that means is there's like little micro movements in between that make the hand look smoother. See, like this frame and this frame have been generated. But I don't necessarily want that because it kind of ruins the hand-drawn aesthetic. And so I want it to be perfect 7.5 frames per second. And so in order to fix that, I might put it in a pre-comp and posterize the time. Or I think there's another way to do it too. I think let me just I have all these After Effects expressions saved somewhere. Posterize time. I don't know if it's gonna work, but if I open up the keyframe for position and I type in basically posterize time. Now, no, it's still doing it, I think. Actually, it is doing it, but it's like offset or something. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just pre-compose it. Just easier for me to do. And foreground. Then posterize time 5. So now I think it's offset though with the mask, and that's kind of, let's see, because I think the mask, oh, you know what the problem is? I think the mask is a different, let's see, what mask? No, the mask is done at 7.5. Yeah. Oh, we're good. That's a, I think. You know what it is? I think the hand is too slow. Like this right here, this section here is throwing me off. So I'm gonna undo those finesses a bit first. That actually looks a little bit better. And I don't know why this is all messed up. Oh, okay, there we go. Now, position. Okay, let's watch this. It should be okay. Oh, you know what's going on? Did I draw, like, why is there thumbnails, like, on the wrong side of the hand? This whole shot is messed up. But just, try this again. I freeze-framed it on the wrong frame, that's the problem. Freeze frame. Yeah, that's, okay, that's what I did. Now, check position here. Gosh. I think it's a little too big, this last frame. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's the hand coming around behind there. But you know what would make this a little bit nicer is if I gave the hand some highlights and I made the back of the hand kind of like dark so that it looks like shadows. So I'm going to do that now, which is actually I'm going to just change the color of this. Oh, another thing I should have mentioned is make sure you're in the right color space because it screws everything up. Oh god, so I have to go through all this and change it pink to be the right color. There's like so many different ways you can screw up your artwork. And color space is one of them. Okay, there I should be. Rather than just making it all dark, I'm gonna just make the backs of it dark. This. So now it looks a little bit more interesting. It's backlit. And do it again here. This is where animation gets a little tedious. Some of these frames, you only see them for half a second, like a split second. So it doesn't really important. It's not that important if you do it perfectly. Oof. But I'm only going to do this for one side, and the other side's going to have very minimal highlights, so it's not going to take too long. Let's see how this looks so far. I'm going to delete this. I don't need this video anymore. I can't really see much there, can you? I'm not really crazy about how it looks, so I might have to fix those first few frames, especially the first one, just to make the highlights look more consistent. Yeah, a little bit better. But I think I'll do it even more. Next couple frames doesn't really matter because it moves so quickly. this point, I'll just draw a line. Okay. How long do you think you'll stream for? I don't know. Probably another hour. Or until this drawing's done. Maybe not an hour, like maybe 20 minutes or so. My phone's ringing. Okay. My mom's calling me. Okay. Almost. I think after this, I don't have to do any more shadows. Yeah. Okay. And I'll move on to some highlights. Just put them around the knuckles, really. And the fingertips. And on the sides. Highlights just make things a little more 3D, I guess. Last one. So I usually put a little bit more detail in the last and the first frame because those are the ones you're going to see more of. But in this case, they pretty much all look the same. Oh, this one's sort of missing a frame. Alright, let's see how this looks. It's a little bit more interesting now. Just a few highlights inside here. After Effects. There you have it. Now, the thing is about this shot, what is rotating? Is it the hand and the mask rotating together? Or is the camera rotating? Because if the camera's rotating, that means all these stars in the background have to rotate as well. That will make the shot more interesting, possibly. We'll find. I mean, do a test, see how it looks. Huh. Saulo A, I can proudly say that I participated in the brainstorming session of the last stream, and it was an extraordinary event. Hey, Saulo A, what's going on, man? Okay, so I'm going to try to rotate these stars, but if it's difficult, like if it's like taking me too long, I'm going to... Just because this is the hard part, really. Might animate it using the anchor point tool because the position's already been used. Okay. So all three of these. Okay, first of all, I'm going to disable the green. If you look up close, there's actually a blue and a red with the stars. Because it kind of simulates like red light travels faster than blue light, so if it's like, I don't know, it just makes it look like an like chromatic aberration. So it kind of makes it more trippy looking. Right? So I'm going to disable them for now, though. So I just have the white. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm going to save this. Actually, I save it as version 2 so I can go back. So at this point in the animation, things should start rotating. And right here is where they stop. Oh, I'm making a mistake. I should do it within the pre-comp, I think. Let's try this again. Maybe not be as much work as I thought. I'm going to disable these other layers for a second. So just simple. Okay. Probably too much. Let's make it to 600. Yeah, but okay, so they do rotate, but the problem is that they don't do it enough. So I don't know if I like how it looks when I do more of that, though. I might not do this. I might just... Yeah, because the problem is it screws up my chromatic aberration thing. Weird. I don't know. I'm wondering. I mean, I might be able to fix these dots by having them distort horizontally. I'm gonna put directional blur on them. So let's just see if I can get this to look as good as possible. So the anchor point goes over. Okay, so that's for that one. And this one. 400. Minus 400. 400. 200. Oops. Oops. 200. Man, what's going on here? Ugh, this is annoying. So I need to go that way. We're getting there. Okay, now the last one. Just how let's see how it looks without the last one. Alright, I'm gonna simplify this for myself because what I'm doing is what I'm trying to do here is too complicated. Undo all that. Just make a null. Make all three of these go to null. Null. This point. Position starts. This point. Position ends. Now do this. Okay, so that should basically be it. Now, is it rotating the right way? I feel like it's rotating the wrong way. We're all at, it's like going the wrong way. Sometimes I have a hard time, like, knowing which way things are supposed to go, like, direction. Let's try this. Yeah, that makes more sense. Now, to do something about that blurring, because I don't like how that looks. The motion of the animation so far kind of makes me think of that they're moving, and the camera isn't, and probably has no smart part to do. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try to fix these red and blue stars now. Because really they should be, see, I think I can do it with... What if I just like... No, I have to use directional blue. First old. Oh, I don't know why this... Okay. I have to put it on the layer underneath. Oh, I already have a directional blur here. Okay, so at this point, blur length is... Okay, I'll put another directional blur. Let's make it easier. Back to 0. So this should make... Damn. It's not quite what I was going for, though. See how it looks. Oh, that's cool, though. It does look cool. Oof. I don't know, maybe it's not perfect, but I don't know. It's cool. What if I do that even more? Let's see, directional blur. Have I made it like even more? Okay, there's like some issues I have to deal with there, but let's just watch this real quick. Whoa! Oh man. That is pretty cool looking, honestly. If the rotation happens in frozen time, would the chromatic aberration still be there? I think so. I don't really know, man. I think I'm gonna keep that just because it looks cool. Like, but maybe it's too much now. I don't know. Let's reduce it a bit and see how it looks. Let's just bring it down to like 80. And yeah, I gotta put something back here, solid black. And the adjustment there. With another threshold, I use threshold a lot. Fix the edges. Now. What did that do? Made everything white. That doesn't have the same effect, so I have to figure out why it's causing everything to be white. And the white layers. Oh, I know why. Luma key. No, key, just regular. Linear color key. Get rid of the black. There we go. Dude, okay, I think that's pretty cool looking. Now, I have an idea that will make it even cooler. Now, what if it's rotating so fast that, like, light is bending around these objects? So maybe, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll just try it. Oh, I already have a ripple layer. I don't want that. Let's try liquefy. If I take the liquefy tool, and let's say it, like, when it's like bending, it like the light like gets pushed underneath the object, so it's gonna shrink everything down. So, does this work? Maybe I have to pre-compose it first. Oh, I know why. It was disabled. Okay. Let's try it again. Shrink this down a bit more. Too much. And so what I'll do is I'll animate the distortion mesh percentage from 0 up to 100. Not 0. Back down to 0. See how that looks. Sort of cool, but kind of cheesy. Maybe not in a good way. It didn't look as cool as I hoped. So maybe I'll change the way it liquefies. Because the thing I don't like about it is at this point, you can kind of see the what happens back there, so... Someone bring some of that back, maybe. Now that's better. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, before we commit to that, though, we'll just try something else to see if something else looks even better. Because, you know, I mean, not necessarily the first try is always the best result. I'll try something else here. What if I did like a big swirl? I have a feeling the swirl's not going to look very good. But maybe it might. It might look cool, because it's kind of like going into the shape of the mask. See that? But it has to animate too, so it has to be 0. And then 0. That looks neat, but I think it's not as nice. I mean, I think the first one, or if we had both, no, both of them doesn't look. I think the first one was better, but maybe I'll just make it more subtle, because I don't think it 100%. Let's just change it to 50. See how that looks. That looks a little bit better. Just a subtle amount of it. That's all I need. So that's Zadok. Yeah, good. Oh, Zadok. Hey, man. Oh, Zadok, you're gonna love this episode after you see what we've done to that model. I got someone to rig the model. There's some crazy scenes. So, and it looks awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be real fun. Okay. I like that. That's cool. The only thing I don't like is this little sliver of pixel. Um, so I might adjust the way that the hand is. The position of it. I just don't know which layer I'm supposed to edit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take all these hands, put them in a pre-comp. Because now I can just make some minute adjustments. Oh, what the? Okay, hold on. I put the hand. Oh, okay, I can't do that because they're combined, top of each other. So where's the position? Either I make the hand a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think just like that, maybe, and then bring it down. Yeah, that's better. And the mask has this effect on it that kind of makes it look like it changes every couple frames. So I'm going to do the same thing for the hand. Now, because the hand is very much in the foreground, I'll make the amount that it does it at a lot less. There, more subtle. Uli, hey, what's going on there? Okay, everyone. So that's basically the shot of the day. For those who have been here earlier, I was announcing the winners of the competition, the art contest, and so the people who have won, congratulations. I'm gonna message you right after this. And I'm going to continue working on interface, and hopefully it's done by the end of September, I think. So I'm just going to keep going at it. I liked your entries, Uli. The art contest. Yeah. How much do I usually... How many hours a day do I draw? At least 4. Because I'm not always drawing, like sometimes I'm shipping out mail orders or stuff. I find that after like 4 hours I start getting, like I'll fall asleep and stuff, and so I'll just go do some chores or do something else, go exercise, whatever. In the evening I might come back and do some more stuff for a couple hours, so usually 4, 5, 6 hours, I guess. Depends though. Some days I do like 12 hours of animation. It really depends on the day, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. I will see you all next time. Good night, everyone. Or good day. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. And thank you for those who have super chatted. Okay.
You're watching UMAMI.